All right, everybody, welcome back to episode 32, Retribution Paladin After Show. Hi. Let's turn on Skype, and let's get... I saw a puppy there for a little bit. Where's the puppy?
Yeah, we need the dog. We need the doggy.
Where's...
He's running, no, no.
Oh.
Come on.
Yeah, I locked my cat outside so nobody gets to see it.
Give me a second.
Oh, poor Elliot.
I'm gonna grab him.
Poor Elliot. Okay. All right.
Hey, he'll be moving to a house soon. It's pool season, so I need to move to a place with a nice pool.
There you go. All right, so if you guys have questions for us, feel free to tweet at us or send us an email down below.
I have some.
Well, yeah, we have some we got from earlier. I'm just waiting for Morgeine. Are you set, sir? Where's the reveal? Or did he run away from you?
Say hi.
Oh,
He's
what?
from my potato camp, but yeah,
It's pretty good.
Aw, what kind of puppy is that?
he's a Pekinua, and I don't know if I say it right in English. We call it Pekinua, and he's small. He won't go up more than that.
Really?
A bit more than he is now. Yeah, he will always look like a puppy, but we love him. So.
That's my kind of dog. I'm a cat guy myself, so I a group of 2 dogs. I'm a little over it. Yeah.
And imagine I
Why
didn't like.
judge? I like cats and dogs.
I'm just saying, Damager. Yeah, whatever.
I have
it's
a
fine.
cat and a dog, so.
Oh, well, there you go.
There you go. You got one of each.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you have some questions that you have from chat, Anna?
Yes, I do. Well, from Schmitz, your fave.
Yeah! He's
We
one of my
see.
mods. Yeah.
Back in vanilla, there was ye old 40 shamans versus 40 paladins video that roamed around the internet.
There was.
If they were to recreate that battle, who would win? And I know that my paladin brethren would win. Because let's be honest, who loses to an enhancement shaman?
Oh,
Shots fired!
shots fired.
I'm not that would be interesting, considering that we have so much higher burst. I feel like if you had a lot of really bad bubble timing or cooldowns, then you guys would lose a lot of people right off the bat. Mm-hmm. And we all have double shield walls and stupid triage healing. I don't know, that'd be weird. Let's set that up real quick. Let's get on the horror. Let's get 40 versus 40, enhanced shaman versus ret
if you're
paladin.
talking about healing, shaman do have the upper hand in cooldowns because they have about 80, roughly, healing cooldowns. But paladins also have a tank that does pump out very high DPS if the encounter is amenable to that and if they're geared correctly. So
This seems like this needs to be researched. We need a server with 40 enhancement and 40 ret. Let's find some cross-server places and go to like the Badlands or something.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it wouldn't really matter in the end. Like, every paladin's just gonna bubble heartstone out.
That's true. And chat does bring up that shaman would just chain lightning their way to victory if we all got too close.
Well, enhancement shaman chain lightning is kind of poop.
Yeah. Well, yeah, but then you just stack it with some Ellies, my favorite shaman spec, and then we'd all just bubble hearth out, and then it would be a draw.
I'm just thinking, like, all 40, you would have, like, groups of 5 that would pick one paladin, and all of you would ascend and just global 10 paladins on the pull. Mm-hmm. With, like, 1.5 plus million DPS, so, yeah. They would just get... That would be interesting. I don't know. Mm-hmm. You pre-bubble into the pool like your front wave bubble.
I mean, I guess it would depend on if those paladins had an Naxi, because then 39 of us could bubble hearth out, and Naxi could just steamroll his way through all 40 shaman, right?
Oh, of course.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
And if he doesn't win, then he's just gonna cry about it. And
He'll just complain on the forums, until it gets fixed. Uh-huh. Mm-hmm.
Anyway, I've got another question from Sandralon.
Sure.
What do you think of having abilities scale with attack power instead of weapon damage? Because I ran into a situation where another ret was asking why he was doing more damage than me when we are at roughly the same eye level, but he had a heroic warforged weapon and I had a normal heroic. I would start the answer to this question by saying that yes, it is weapon damage is critical to ret. I don't know if it's as critical to every other spec, but it is just, weapon damage is just ridiculously critical to ret. You just want to use the highest eye level weapon that you have available to you, and then go from there selecting which weapon you like the best. But I would leave it up to these guys to answer. Would it be better if ability is scaled off of AP instead of weapon damage, or would it be worse?
Well, it would kind of force us to getting more strength. I mean, there's some balancing or tuning things they could do to improve that, but I think the way it is now, that weapon damage is the be-all, and people just go with that. I mean, if I'm not wrong, I think it was Dakeshi, another Norwegian red paladin, that used agility polearm in Throne of Thunder because it was a higher item level than what he had of strength.
Yep, I actually saw someone in a guild that I know of that's fairly equally progressed to us, who just had terrible luck with drops and never got a weapon, and he used an agility polearm for a while until he got a drop with strength on it. But that's just, it's weapon damage. It's very strong.
Yeah.
Polearms have the most awesomeness. I don't know if they have the most weapon damage. Polearms definitely. I don't know if you guys are like strength polearms as much as I do, but I'm a big fan of strength polearms. Okay,
Thank you. That actually a paladin exists that likes polearms.
Yeah, strength polearms are the best. I'm so bummed out that the sword is the best for me because I'm human. I'm like, maybe I should go Draenei just so that I can polearm and feel good about myself. Although I guess we're on complete farm now, so I could use the polearm if I wanted to. But yeah.
I'll link my armor in the Twitch chat so people can see transmog. Like polearms has the best
they have the
models
best
ever.
Yes.
I have the worst
if black eyes.
ever.
Yeah.
I will link it as well, so you can laugh at my tune.
Here's a very important
Alex.
question for you guys: dress tier or no dress tier?
No.
What?
No dress tier.
Dress tier?
You are.
Dress tier all the way. Dress tier.
Yeah, dress tier all the way. Yes, Morgeine and I are on the same.
Oh.
Yeah?
It feels so.
I need to see my hoofs.
I actually transmogged to Ulduar tier for like I was like that with the half expansion because I like the dress. No homo, but no, you know, I just like it how it looks.
Okay.
Yeah, no, absolutely. The Ulduar, actually the 10-man tier in the white is my favorite transmog. Beyond, actually, I really like tier 16. You can see in the image for the show that's coming up that I'm in the tier 16, and I'm actually in the normal because I like the normal coloring better than the heroic, even though I'm in pretty much full best in slot. But I really like that Ulduar tier in the white and gold color and blue. It's very nice.
Yeah.
So, dress tier all the way. You're so wrong there to say.
No.
I'm dressed here all the way. I think it looks best on Paladins, but meh. I'm not a Paladin.
Yes, the Paladins don't agree. I mean, I actually had this discussion with somebody with regard to the challenge mode set, which is very popular. A lot of Paladins like the challenge mode set, and I think it's a very attractive set. It's just not my kind of armor. I like dress tier. I always wear the dress plate, and I like that there are like lots. I think plate probably has the best options for what you transmog.
I don't know. I'm a fan of your tier 3 original Power Ranger gear. Was pretty epic. It was pretty epic. If you don't have that or you get that off the black market auction house, that is awesome. I mean, you can't talk about Judgment. Everyone's like, "Oh, Judgment's the best Paladin set," you know. So, Oh, this is the video from 2007.
Yeah. Here's another question. If you could change or remove one thing about Retribution Paladin to improve the spec, what would it be? And that's from Boonhouse.
Guess I'll go.
Yeah.
Don't say Inquisition.
No, just so it's said, Inquisition is fine. Don't touch it. Now that's that over. I feel like I really miss Consecration from the good old days.
Yes.
If that gets put back in some form, then that's gonna be really fun. Another thing, like this is maybe the biggest quality of life change they can do is remove the target requirement from Hammer of the Righteous, so we can actually cleave something without chasing after the mob that the tanks are running away like 10 times faster.
Yes, I agree. I agree. No target cleave would be extremely nice. Any kind of no target required cleave that's not Light's Hammer.
It's not Light's Hammer. Oh.
Yeah.
Maybe they could even make Consecration spawn when you use Hammer of the Righteous.
I like
I mean,
The glyph. Sorry, May.
oh no, I was gonna say like it almost does it automatically with its own thing, but then again, if you move out of it, it's dunsies. Yeah. I mean, if they're gonna scrap that ability because it looks so cool, why don't you just make Consecration have the Paladin animation, and then just do something different for Light's Hammer? Make a different talent that's not. Because throwing down that huge hammer is like 98% of why you take the talent. Because you feel so badass. It's like, poof, and, yeah, but
It's like so cool seeing it radiating the ground or something. Yeah. I would like to combine it with concentration. You know,
yeah.
I have that vision.
This came in to clarify from earlier from Praedor, Dreadmaul US. The 40% haste we were talking about now, do you shoot for that buffed in raids with the 5% you gain, or unbuffed, do you want 40% on your character?
You always want. Well, it's not a rule, but like it's
Sure.
what people advise with when you have 4 set is to get 17,000 rating, which is the same as 40% unbuffed.
Okay.
So that's what you do. You don't take into the equation that you're gonna have a buff or not.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's
the
fair
character
enough.
screen can be very misleading.
Yeah.
Let's see, we have another question here. What is most enjoyable about playing a Ret Pally? And actually, that's from Hearthfire, but we had this question earlier in chat from at least one person who asked kind of what makes you still want to play your Paladin tier after tier, especially sticking through the ups and downs that we've stuck with. Besides the utility that we've talked about that we really enjoy, what makes you kind of stick to Ret Paladin over any other melee class, or really over any other class?
What makes us stick to Red Pally? So, as I said, I really like that personally. I really like that utility generally in games. In every MMO I try, I almost do the same stuff. I play some hybrid that can heal or generally assist the party or the raid while DPSing, of course. DPS is I love DPSing, but I like that you can also help the raid along with DPSing. You bring some good damage, and on the side note you have Hand of Protection, Hand of Salvation, Lay on Hands. You can actually have a great impact on when you are going for world firsts. You can have a great impact on the raid. You can actually, with your Lay on Hands, save a tank and get a kill because you just did that, and it's pretty awesome. Yeah, I really enjoy that. You can save a raid member. And what else? And Avenging Wrath, yeah. I just like Avenging Wrath. It's it's the best skill from all the classes for me. Don't know, I just feel awesome when I pop Avenging Wrath.
You just feel like a paladin. You feel like, "Rah,"
Yeah, it may sound stupid, but that's how I see it.
Not at all.
It may not be a satisfying answer for some people. That's why.
Enhancement shamans out there will agree that we used to feel cool popping our elementals and our wolves, and now we're just like,
you pull 1 million DPS on pull in.
well, at one
it's
point,
actually better, yeah.
my current best is 1.86 on phase 1 Garrosh, 1.86 million. But I've been already beaten. Other people in my Enhanced Shaman Council in our Skype group have already broken 2 million. I mean, it's super random to get like 2.1 million, but it's happened. I don't know if
We just picked up an Enhancement Shaman for the
Yeah.
first time since Firelands. Actually, the
Uh-huh.
last time something Wicked had an Enhancement Shaman was Firelands. My raid leader is Ellie, and he likes Shaman, but I guess we just tend to get caster Shaman who apply like Resto and Ellie and just never
Yeah.
any enhance. But we picked up an enhanced shaman, actually, Koshiro from formerly of Juggernaut, and she is like as she acquired gear, and she doesn't say very much in Vent. And as she acquired gear, I just saw her burst go like all the way to the top of the of Skada, and I'm like, oh, now we actually got her. She was in flex gear when we got her into the raid, and now she's got like in much closer to BIS, and I'm like, oh man, her burst. Better than my burst.
It's getting,
really
It's getting downsized in Warlords. We'll see.
Yeah, but it's unusual because since we haven't had an enhancement shaman for a very long time, I'm not used to seeing a shaman up there. I mean, I guess Ellie bursts pretty much that hard when they have ascendants up as well, but it's difficult to burst quite as hard as an enhancement shaman. So.
A she-enhancement shaman?
A she-enhancement shaman. Yeah, I know. Some raiders are girls. It's quite rare. No, it's not. I have more questions for you guys. Oh, I guess I never really answered the one that we talked about last. I just really like the rotation about Ret Pallies. That's what really keeps me there. I like the resource generation and using it. I just really like the way the rotation goes.
Yeah.
I like the way Prot works now as well, but I just really fell in love with Ret when I tried it in Cataclysm after the Holy Power rework. I don't know if it was the maintenance buff, I don't know if it was Holy Power, but I like just the whole idea of kind of generating resources and using them on a finisher. It just feels really good to play with. I like that. And a little procky. I like that too. It's just pleasant to play. And that's something that's consistent whether I'm on trash, whether I'm on a boss, whether I'm just, leveling on my Paladin or whatever between expansions. I just like playing Ret. I like it as a spec. And that's really what keeps me there. I guess that's my answer to the question. I just find the Paladin very pleasant to play. And I want to stick with it. We kind of had this laugh moment at the beginning of the episode where we were asked, are you going to stay on your Ret? And I kind of laughed bitterly. And that's because I'm really over melee right now.
Maybe. This whole tier, I want to say the last two tiers have been very much like kind of
caster friendly.
Very caster friendly, very melee unfriendly. Yeah.
I wouldn't even say they're caster. I don't even say they're caster friendly because I feel like casters have a lot of. I don't want to downplay the amount of mechanics that casters have to deal with, but just the way that the way that the game works right now is just incredibly melee unfriendly, and for me, a lot of it is tied up in visuals. If I could,
say hi.
Yeah, Paragons. Oh my god, that fight. Ugh. If I could see myself every time I play a ranged alt and I can actually see myself, it's like the most beautiful, amazing thing ever. Yeah. And I really want playing melee to be as pleasant an experience and as challenging as playing a ranged is. And I know it's not easy. I know Ghostcrawler recently tweeted that melee versus ranged balance is something he has struggled with in all 3 of the games that he has designed on. It's not an easy problem to solve. But if playing melee is as unpleasant as it was this expansion, I'm not going to be able to play melee for much longer. So.
Well,
I
think a lot of the things in regards with melee is going to smooth out with 20 man. Like if you play 10 man as melee, you basically have nothing to do because it's so clear, so open to do. And then you turn to 25 man when you suddenly have 6, 7, 8, 9 melee depending on the fight. Then it's too many things going on, and then it's like one ground effect that you have to move out of. For instance, on Protectors of Pandaria or whatever, the 3 pandas in Siege of Orgrimmar, when they spawn the poison thing on you, which is basically the same color as the ground, so you can't actually see it, so you just have to move when you take damage.
I think the 2 things that would really help here in this argument is A, mythic rating. Losing 5 more people I think will really help this again. And I think we really need, like, we have the option to emphasize your spell effects, but we need a spell effects slider so that you can literally turn down everyone else's spell effects in the raid, so you don't see all of their beautiful, pretty animations all the time, and you can maybe see more of the boss's butt and you in relationship to it. And so you should be able to see your animations, your graphics more, but you shouldn't have to see everyone else's at full blown everything, which I
We
think.
are 90% of the time lost in a pile of spells, of pets, of stuff coming off from the boss, and whatever. I have literally. I play without looking at my characters. I switch to my Moonkin, and I sometimes I don't even watch my character because of that, because of melees, because of my Paladin.
Yeah.
Of melees generally.
Well, the particle density slider changes everything. You want to see the boss's effects and yours, but not everyone else's.
And I mean, first of all, the entire solution of turn your graphics down to play the game better is BS.
Yeah,
and the devs have said it. They do not like the solution of turn your graphics down to actually be able to play the game. That's complete bullshit. They do not want that to be a solution either.
Yeah.
And also, I don't know if you guys know this. This is actually something that not a whole lot of people know. But boss mods like DBM and Bigwigs, which probably 99% of our viewers use one or the other, actually turn on and off. It's not particle density. It's another one of those settings. Projected textures. Yep. They turn them on and off per fight. And I didn't realize this. I raid with the guy who does most of the DBM work. I didn't realize this until he broke it for Duramu one week. And projected textures was accidentally turned on, and I didn't realize that DBM silently turned it off for that fight and then silently turned it back on when you were done, because we did that fight and we almost immediately wiped because no one could see anything under all of the spell effects and crap, and then we pulled it the second time and we killed it because we knew what to expect. But it's just seeing some of these fights with spell effects on and off, or particle density on and off, it's just, or projected textures, it's just a completely different game, and it just affects melee so much more than it affects ranged. That really frustrates me, and I wish that there was an option to just turn down everyone who wasn't you by 75%. And then the PvP people could keep it on, because I know it's very important for PvP that you know what your enemy is casting. But the PvE people could just turn it down and only see yourself, and not have a fire elemental like sitting on top of you, being all flamey, and blocking your entire. The fucking fire elementals are my least favorite things.
The big orange marshmallows of goodness.
Yes, your fire elemental bay. But yeah, I would also say that the healer blog that we recently saw. I think we should all take note of how much they're reducing instant heals. Because if they're doing that for healers. The DPS blog is going to be
awesome.
Painful for some of the range to read, is what I was thinking.
Oh, really?
I'm prepping for the River of QQ right now.
You think?
I mean,
did you see Drevka's Twitter when that healing blog came out immediately? And I asked what Drevka thinks, and I got retweeted back. It's just imagine, look at his Twitter, and he said he doesn't think, he only drinks. So he's, I think a lot of the changes.
He's someone who's going to think very critically about the changes and why they've gone in, even if they make his personal playstyle less fun, which is going to happen for every ranged and healer class. If it makes their personal playstyle less fun, I'm not going to say that doesn't suck. That does suck for you guys, and I'm sorry. But I think that the fact that they've said that for healers is something we should really look at and be like, man, for ranged DPS. They have a wake-up call coming, and it's probably going to be a good one for us. So, that's my thoughts. Hopefully.
What about you guys? What do our guest thinks about that stuff? Do you guys both feel the same with all the graphical overload is beautiful. Some of it looks great. Obviously, the textures and the particles Blizzard has updated look awesome. Look back to
Guardian is awesome.
What it looks like. I always bring up Hurricane as a standpoint on graphical improvements in World of Warcraft. Go look at old Hurricane for Druids to now. Yeah. This game has come a long way.
It has.
Yeah. But in that way, coming a long way, you gotta remember when there is 17 people on the boss's butt, and there's all this crazy crap going on, and you have to make sure you're not standing in the poopy or in that poopy or in the right poopy, then what the...
Yep.
Where you're
So-
standing under the boss and like all of the spell effects going over your head. That's my
Yep.
favorite. It's not just the ones that are on top of you, but like the line of spell effects that's like over your head. It's like all the way back to the range. Like it's even on Thock, where like
Yeah.
melee are in this pile and the ranged are in this pile, and there's like this beam of a billion
Things
spells.
going on
Yeah,
Yeah,
like things
exactly.
like boss, like why is that there? Why
like
do I
a death ray.
appreciate that?
Yeah.
How
Do
does
you
that
remember?
gameplay
Do you guys
experience?
remember the red hitbox on Throne of Thunder? That thing. After they patched something with the heals on combat log, because we had a lot of combat log lag.
Yes.
I
Yeah.
don't know how to say
Yeah.
it. And they patched, and the hitbox of the boss was red, big as a football,
Yeah.
a soccer field or something, and it really made my life a lot. It made my life worse for a couple of weeks. Still, we are out of Throne of Thunder. I don't know if
Yeah.
you guys remember it.
Yeah, I remember.
It was pretty annoying.
Yeah, it is. But any other questions we got? I don't think anything came in on Twitter. Not really. People were freaking out about them bears for next week. But any questions? Anything? We got like another minute or two, and then we'll have to get out of here. But any questions for our guests about Ret Paladins? We gotta wait for chat to catch
You're
up.
gonna have
or
to
whatnot,
wait like
but-
a minute for chat to catch
yeah,
up.
3 minutes, something like that. Of course, no. It's only like a 20-second delay, depending on your viewer count and stuff. Once you get the transcode button, it lowers the delay. Yeah.
I
So, yep.
see. You guys are going to play Retribution Paladins next expansion, correct? No spec switching
Yeah.
going on.
Yeah, I can't switch to a prot. We have such good tanks in Envy, for example, that I won't even think going protection compared to that guys. Yeah, it will be like fooling myself or something. We have such good tanks that I could never even think going prot.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think the guys want me as prot.
Yeah, I feel the same way. I really like Prot as a spec, but our tanks really like tanking, and I have a lot of respect for our tanks. And I kind of want to, if they like tanking better, I want to let them tank, and then I'm
Yeah.
going to DPS because I like DPS a little bit better, just a hair. So
Well, let's take Neo's question real quick and then get out of here. Is it hard to pick up Ret Paladins compared to other melee classes?
what do you guys think?
I guess it's the same as all other classes. It's fairly easy to pick up and play, and it's harder to master. Like in Ret Paladins, like the difference between mastering the spec and being just average at it is very small. Like you can, as Anna said earlier, you can face roll or just mash your keyboard and basically do
Yeah.
close to optimal, and that's like my main complaint about Ret. You don't have a lot of shine, to put it that way. Like you can't do something special and be better than us or better than the average.
Okay. How about you, Morgeine?
What was the question again? Because I got lost in the chat.
No,
Sorry.
you're fine. Is it hard to pick up Ret Paladins compared to other melee classes?
It's not hard. I mean, it's another melee class. It's okay. You have to get used to your rotation a bit. Maybe get that CFS rotation helper, how it's called. Don't know.
Yeah.
It will help you a bit. Yep. And after that, it depends on your mindset, how you wanna play it.
Yeah.
If you are focused on DPS, you will probably end up doing things wrong. You have to get to the mindset of using your utility abilities, like we said
Yeah.
before,
Yeah.
and that's it. Overall, it's a pretty easy rotation. Once you play 1 or 2 weeks with it, you will get used to it pretty fast. It's not that much.
Awesome.
Yeah, I mean, as long as you track Inquisition. If you don't
Yeah.
track Inquisition, you do need your and that's something that I say. You know, we're laughing, but the default UI is crap for
Yep, it
tracking.
is. That's
For tracking maintenance buffs. It's probably the biggest fault of the default UI that I wish Blizzard would fix, because a lot of people do play on the default UI, and it really should have a way to track a maintenance buff in a manner that is good for the normal person to see. I have
Yeah.
2 different ways to track Inquisition
That's
on my
where
UI.
that's where weak average comes in.
Yep.
Yeah,
As
I
I
mean, I
said
use a
in
weak
the
aura.
main
I
show.
also use Raven.
Yeah, I use weak aura for weak auras for everything. Even on progress, I make weak auras on debuffs, on buffs, or everything. So the first thing when I got weak auras was to track my Inquisition.
Yeah.
After
Yeah.
I rolled
Oh, mine was to track Righteous Fury
Fury.
because I
Yeah,
I
okay.
switch specs. I've always been kind of dual
I
spec
wish
Paladin. Yeah.
I
And
wish I had it. Sorry.
yeah, I switch specs so often in raids that it really only took pulling a boss once with Righteous Fury on inappropriately for me
Yeah.
to download weak auras and write an
Oh.
aura that had a big exclamation point in the center of my screen. And it's the same aura if it's on in ret or if it's off in prot. So I always know that my Righteous Fury is wrong, regardless of the spec that I'm in. But yes, that was why I downloaded weak auras.
That's good.
But yeah, I mean, that would be my recommendation for people picking up ret is just tracking position. Figure out however you like tracking position. And remember that another one of ret's strengths that we haven't talked about a lot on this show, besides making fun of me,
Oh.
is not dying.
Yeah.
You have more tools at your disposal to not die than almost any other class in the game. So if you die and any of those tools are not on cooldown, you are bad.
You're doing it wrong.
So
Not just
you're
that.
doing it wrong. I mean, you might as well just get in the habit of when you die, be like, is my DP on cooldown? No. Why? Is my bubble and or
Exactly.
lay on hands on cooldown? No. Why? Like,
Do I have
use all
the
of your
second
abilities.
shield up? Do I
yeah,
have second shield up? I mean, I think
exactly.
you should generally focus. I think dying as paladin, as a red paladin is generally bad. You should generally focus also on reducing the damage you take generally.
Mhm.
Especially when you're progressing, it will help your healers a lot long term in
Yeah.
learning and executing the fight. I mean, divine protection, guys, best, one of the
20-second cooldown, 10-second buff.
Yeah.
Why is
Yeah.
it not being used on almost on cooldown?
All the
I
time.
do it with muscle memory, as you said before. I
Yeah.
just press it every time.
Yep.
You just if you just default to pressing it every time it's up, and then adjust to using it when it's most appropriate for the fight, it's the best
Exactly.
thing ever. But
Yeah. Even now with
You
like,
will be a better player for sure.
and that's one of the reasons why you don't see rets being sat in guilds that have good rets. I mean, all of this stuff about how much damage rets put out, but if you have guilds that have good rets, they don't tend to sit them that much if they're good players, and the reason why is because they die less. And when
Sure.
you have 400 pulls on the boss before it dies,
Yep.
and the ret is one of the players that is dying a lot less than every other player, well, that person is going to be a lot more useful to you to killing
Exactly.
the boss.
And
If you're a good ret, then you know how to make that happen, and that's by using all of your abilities to not die.
Yeah.
So,
even
and
now
it's a
with
lot lower on the damage taken graph. So
Mm-hmm.
on SCADA, for example. So use your SCADA for that, guys. Track your damage taken.
Yeah.
Also,
even now with
that will be a good
even more
advice.
now, so with the cooldown reduction trinket. I mean, on Garrett,
Yeah.
for instance, I like under empowered worlds, I just use bubble because I can follow the boss and just not care about taking damage. Like from with the cooldown reduction trinket, bubble has turned from the oh shit I'm gonna die button to think oh I'm gonna take more damage than I should, so just pop it before it starts.
Yep. All right, I'm hitting the button. I'm calling this quits now.
Yep.
We calling this quits. We're gonna get out of here. That was good stuff. Alrighty. Woo! Bear from Ninth Order. You can go follow him and their exploits going into Mythic Raiding and New Warlords over at ninthorder.com. Thank you again for being on the show, sir. It was a pleasure.
Thank you for having me again.
It was awesome. And then also, Morgeine. You can follow him on Twitter at Morgeine_NV. Thank you, sir.
Thank you for inviting me again, and it was fun to be here.
Yep. Sorry for the potato cam, but it's okay. It's a
Potato Gam, yeah, as some envy members said in chat.
yes.
Yeah.
Totally okay.
Totally
And
okay.
our co-host of Final Boss over on Twitter at Anaphil. You can go follow her over there for more of this rage. I can't wait till beta comes out to see you and Drevka going back and forth, and Celestial and them. It's gonna be fun.
we're gonna have so many great episodes with so many fantastic ragers, and it's just gonna be like final boss, all rage, all the time. All
We're
right.
gonna have beta rage coverage. Oh no.
We're just gonna have to rename it to like Final Rage TV.
Oh
It's gonna be great.
jeez. Okay,
Can I do a shout out?
that's fair. Yes, sir.
Shout out to Dex, the most awesome officer and raid leader in the universe.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm not licking his balls. I'm just saying it
Uh-huh.
live. Yeah, I really like him as a guy. And shout out to my friends watching from the net cafe and laughing at me. Thank you, guys.
Perfect.
That's it.
I'll take
Perfect.
that same chance, I guess.
Yep.
Shout out to Vim too. He's the Arab prince, camel herder in the guild. He's awesome. He sells a lot of things like tradables, pets, and so on. So you should check him out if you want. Also, shout out to my guild, of course.
Yeah.
See you on MMO Champion.
It should be awesome. Then you'll find me over on twitch.tv BayTLM. That's where you can get me after the show. And during the week, if you have questions about guests or want to talk to me about the show or what's coming up or whatever, you can go get me there. But then, yep, you guys should go hit us up on our social media. And then, of course, we will see you in the... We will see you on the YouTubes over there at Final Boss TV. All of our links are down below. Again, next week, we have Guardian Druids with Ariel and Buran on the show next week. We'll talk about Bears. But yeah, we'll see you at 1 p.m. PST, 4 EST, and 10 CET next week on Final Boss TV. Have a good reset, trust in the coin, and we'll see you later. Bye, everybody. Bye. Bye, 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 bye.
See you later.
Bye. Bye.
Bye-bye.